Good morning for everyone. Welcome to our first seminar of 2021. My name is Jose Garcia. I am the Director of R&D of the Segna Group. As you probably already know, Segna is a business group with more than 60 years of experience in natural food colors, with production plants in Spain, Italy, and Turkey, and customers worldwide. In today's webinar, we will talk about organic production in the food coloring industry. The webinar is expected to last approximately 50 minutes with an additional 10 minutes for questions. Today, we have invited 3 senior speakers with complementary profiles. First, and after this short introduction, Ivan Ludeña will tell us about organic food from the point of view of the regulatory framework. Ivan is master in food science with extensive experience in food quality and safety. He has worked in a different food multinationals, and he has been legal advisor to the Association of Spanish Companies for Collective Restoration. Ivan has collaborated with the Spanish and European authorities in the development of new food standards. Currently, he is technical director of ILO Quality, a consultancy specialized in food regulations. Ivan is also secretary of the governing board of the Food and Agriculture Committee of the Spanish Quality Association. Next, Emanuele Pedrazzini will talk about the elaboration of organic colored caramels. Emanuele is doctor in food science from the University of Milan. He has more than 16 years of experience in applied research in different food companies, and since 2014, he is the R&D director at Segna in Milan. Emanuele is a great expert in the development of caramel colors. After, Erika Duarte will talk about organic vegetable dyes and their certification. Erika is food technologist and master in quality management from the Faculty of Pharmacy of Valencia. Erika has more than 15 years of experience in quality and food safety departments of different food companies, and since 2017, she is responsible for quality assurance and regulatory affairs at Segna. Finally, we will open question and answer time. For 10 minutes, we will try to answer the questions that have sent to us through the chat during the whole webinar. I inform you that this webinar is going to be recorded, and in the coming weeks, it will be available on our website. In addition, in the next days, you will receive a copy of the webinar documentation by email. But before we start with our guests, I would like to share with you some concepts and data related to the organic food market. According to the FAO, during the past century, the priority of the food systems was to increase productivity and economic growth. But this improvement in productivity has a high cost for society. It is estimated that for every €1 spent on food production, society must pay €2 to repair the damage in health, the environment, and other economic losses. Industrial agriculture contributed to the loss of natural habitat and has created the conditions for virus and bacteria emerge and spread. And in the future, the degradation of nature will strain even more global food systems and human health. For that, today's food system must be transformed to become healthier and more sustainable. The situation requires a review of traditional food systems, and it is at this point where organic agriculture can play an essential role. But what is an organic food? In a very simple way, we can say that organic food is an agro-industrial product obtained under ecological procedures. Consequently, the key is to understand what ecological procedures means. The organic concept, as understood today, was developed in the 60s by some groups in Europe, USA, and Japan. These groups popularized the idea of organic agriculture and rejected agro-industrial practices. There are several definitions of organic agriculture formulated by World Health Organization, FAO, etc. But all of them meet the following characteristics. First, it is a global production management system. 2, promotes the care of the health of ecosystems and people. 3, it considers biodiversity and biological cycles. 4, it uses only biological and mechanical methods. 5, adapts their procedures to local conditions. And 6, is banned, rules out the use of synthetic products, mainly fertilizers and pesticides. To ensure all of this, the farm management is based on rules established by governments and or certification agencies. The compliance with these certification standards provide multiple benefits. First, it allows greater socioeconomic sustainability due to the integration of the crops and the livestock production. In addition, the rotation practice results in a reduction of diseases and pests, and efficiency increases of agricultural nutrients, higher yields during years of the extreme weather, and improves the resilience against climatic catastrophes. But also, organic agriculture contributes to restoring ecosystems and increase the soil quality. At the end, organic products meets up to 8 of the 17 goals of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. For all of it, organic farming is gaining popularity. And studies made in Europe show that up to 90% of consumers buy this product at least occasionally because consumers consider organic food healthier, environmentally friendly, and safer. The acquisition of this product is a matter of personal values. In fact, buying organic is a matter of lifestyle. The profile of the organic product buyer is altruistic and concerned about the product quality and food safety. Another conclusion of great relevance regarding the purchase decision of organic products is the importance of trust in certification labels. Since certification is the only way for a consumer to know if a product comes from organic agriculture or not. In conclusion, organic products are aimed to customers with a higher ecological conscience and high educational skills. Consequently, due to the increasing interest of the consumers in health and environment, demand for organic products has grown. For example, the area of organic production in the world has multiplied by 5 in just 20 years, with more than 2.8 million organic producers in 2018. And world sales of organic food increases from $18 billion to $95 billion in the same time. In the terms of the market distribution, the USA is the world's largest market, with sales of 40.6 billion euros in 2018, followed by Germany and France. However, although the organic food market has grown worldwide, the total share of organic products is still low compared to the total market. Up to date, the highest market shares are in Europe, and only in Denmark, Switzerland, and Sweden, the consumption of organic fruits represents 10% of the total food consumed annually. Another important issue is the imbalance between consumption and production in large markets, such as Europe, where the market is growing faster than the production area. The prediction is that this increase in the organic food market will continue for years to come. Additionally, the approval of the 2030 Agenda is expected to reinforce this trend. And some experts predict that the COVID pandemic will promote even more consumer interest in organic products. In conclusion, traditional production system promoted economic growth but caused major environmental problems. Today is a growing sensitivity to nature and health through the world. Organic agriculture is an emerging alternative to traditional agriculture. Organic systems are based on rules that promote social and environmental sustainability. Buying organic food is a matter of personal values and lifestyle. The certification of organic products is essential to guarantee consumer confidence. The organic market grows very fast, especially in USA, Europe, Japan, and more recently in China, but the consumption rate is still low. In Europe, the consumption of organic food is increasing faster than cultivable land, with a significant growth in imports. And the growth trend in a demand for organic food will continue in the coming years. Here you have some literature consulted only in case you want to know something more. And that is all from my part. If you have any question, we will try to answer at the end of the webinar and at the end of the presentation. Next, I give the floor to Ivan Ludeña. Thank you a lot. Ivan, please.
Thank you, Jose. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for the presentation, and thank you very much, everyone, for your presence and attention. It's an honor for me to participate in this seminar by SECNA, and in these next 20 minutes, we will try to explain some definition that we consider of interest to all. We will try to expose the current regulatory framework, and we will talk about the future perspectives in the terms of organic products. But before I start to explain all the definition, I would like to make a brief introduction about organic products from the perspective of consumers. There is a growing interest on the part of the entire food chain for this type of ecological, organic, or bioproducts. There are studies that show that the consumption of organic food as a reflection of the existing trend in society and industry that leads us towards a healthy lifestyle. 68% of those who consume these products do so because they are healthy and help prevent diseases. In addition, 45% will buy more products of this type. In other words, it's a long-lasting consumer trend that will increase in the coming years. We can say that we are facing a relatively young consumption, since 62% of consumers have started in these consumptions in the last 5 years. The main weight is fruit and vegetables, milk and juice, and followed by dessert. We could say that they are the initiation product to this type of consumptions. But there are more and more organic products demanded by the food chain. Consumers buy by looking at the European Union logo, but also according to the type of establishment, to the shape and taste, and to the labeling. There are in turn several types of organic consumers. 57% respond to healthy consumer, buy and consume this food for health. 26% are eco-authentic consumers. It does so for its environmental commitment. 12% are a trendy consumer. It joins the trend of organic. And 6% is high-risk consumer, consumed for the quality and taste of this. So we can't start talking about definition without mentioning the regulation 2080/848 of the European Parliament and the Council of the 30 of May 2018 on organic production and labeling of organic products. In his Article 3 of definition, he clarifies several concepts, but due to lack of time, we can't go into detail with all of them, but we are going to consider the most relevant. For example, organic production means the use of production methods that comply with this regulation at all stages of production, preparation, and distribution. Organic product means a product resulting from organic production, but the products of hunting or fishing of wild animals are not considered as organic products. Genetically modified organisms means genetically modified organisms as defined in Directive 2001, which is not obtained through the techniques of genetic modification listed in Annex 1B to that directive. Produced from GMO means derived in full or in part from GMOs, but not contain or consisting of them. Produced by GMOs means derived by using GMOs as the last living organisms in the production process, but not containing or consisting of GMOs nor producing from GMOs. But what's happened with the definition of terms eco, bio, and organic? These terms are used interchangeable, and sometimes the consumer does not know if we are talking about different products or if we are talking about the same types of products. These adjectives really are synonyms. They are all designate those products that have not been treated with any type of pesticides or chemical product that is not natural, that they have been cultivated respecting the cycles of nature, and of course that they are not transgenic. All these qualities are officially recognized. Any product that includes the terms eco, bio, and organic on its labels must meet the same requirement in its production. The community provision that regulates is the Regulation 2018/848, compliance with Brussels regulation, which approves the recognition of a bio, eco, and organic product. But among consumers, perhaps there are some difference between these adjectives on a more subjective level. Bio is understood as a more natural product with a higher quality of nutrients, with greater and better benefits for the health of those who consume it. The term eco is more associated with environmental aspects, sustainable production, and respect and care for the environment during the production chain. The term organic, however, is more associated with GMO-free products, with food-free of products with chemical synthesis. But as I said, these differentiation are subjective on the part of consumer. In terms of legislation and therefore certification, these terms are synonyms. I didn't want to end the definitions section without citing the following definition that appear in the Use the Organic Food Production Act of 1990. Classifies organic products into three categories: 10% organics, those that contain 100% organic ingredients; organic, those that contains 95% organic ingredients; products made with organic ingredients, those that contain 70% of or more organic ingredients. Once we have seen the most important definitions, we are going to talk about the regulatory framework. Obviously, due to lack of time, we are not going to see all of them, nor are we going to talk about them in depth, but we are going to see the regulatory framework that can be most common for all of us. And we are going to start talking about the European Union. In the European Union, organic products are regulated by Regulation 2018/848, and the main objectives of this new regulation, which should have gone into force on January 1st, 2021, is to promote the harmonization of the European Union production model, improve free competition between European products and those from third countries, prevent the possibility of fraud, and increase consumer confidence in organic products, in addition to clarifying some technical aspects. However, the COVID-19 pandemic and the public health crisis it has created represent an unprecedented challenge for member states and place a heavy burden on operators in the organic production sector. Therefore, in November 2020, Regulation 2020-1693 was published, which modifies the regulation and with regard to the day of application and other dates mentioned therein. In this way, the entry into force of this regulation has been postponed until January 1st, 2022. The scope of this regulation covers the need for regulation for other products that are directly linked to agriculture and widens the range of possibly organic products that can be produced, prepared, labeled, distributed, marketed, imported, or exported from the Union. This regulation gave greater security and certainty to all agents involved in the organic food production chain. It's important to note that it also provides greater simplification and harmonization when applying the new legislation. The new legislation increased the guarantee of quality and safety, since the logo of an ecological product of the European Union offers as consumer the highest level of guarantee that we can expect from an agri-food product, and fulfill response to the expectation that they are deposited in this food. The controls on organic products, its internal controls is rewarded. A good example can be observed with the reduction of official control by the competent authorities when the food operator's record is extended. In the event that after 3 consecutive years of annual controls he has managed to keep his file immaculate, it can be paid to one check every 2 years. So, what's happened with USA? The consideration of organic or ecological product in USA is not similar to that of Europe. The national and foreign food industry that intends to certify its agri-food of other products as organic in the United States is obligated to comply with the requirements established by the Organic Food Production Act 1990, which established the responsibility for the control of these products in the federal agency, United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, and its administrative department, Agriculture Marketing Service, responsible for preparing the regulation that developed the National Organic Program. Federal legislation is contained in the Code of Federal Regulation. So agri-food products, which are regulated by the United States Food and Drug Administration, and want to be marketed in the USA as organic, must comply with the old FDA regulation, including general and nutritional labeling, and in addition with the requirements set by the USDA for organic products. So that organic product from third countries can be imported and marketed in the USA is required to either be certified in accordance with the regulation of USDA organic products by a body previously accredited by State Department for such purpose, or based on standards international authority. Regarding the second options, it's materialized through agreements that are formalized with 3 third countries that can demonstrate that they have a regulation and control system similar or equivalent to those contemplated in the U.S. National Organic Program case. case the certification issued by the foreign country under its regulation is admitted. And what's happened with Japan? Organic European products are not automatically recognized by the Japanese Ministry of Agriculture. The Japanese authority required that organic food bear the logo of the Japanese agricultural standard, which can be obtained in one of the following ways: by equivalent systems. The Japanese Ministry of Agriculture recognized organic product control bodies from the European Union member states whose certificates of validity is also recognized in Japan, by certification in origin, and by certification at destination. At last, on January 1st, 2021, the United Kingdom ceased to be a member state of the European Union, and although the production rules remain the same, what changed is the export and import system. From January 1st, the marketing of product to UK is considered an export outside the European Union, and British who buy product must go through the processing as product importers. The trade in organic products is also part of this agreement, and there is a reciprocal recognition of equivalence of the current organic legislation and control system of the European Union and the United Kingdom. In terms of labeling, organic products might bear the European Union organic logo. Any UK organic logo is pending adoption, or both of them. However, at least in Europe, constant updates are being published on organic product regulation, some of them of less importance, but not less important for that. This will be the case until at least 2025 or maybe 2026, which is the horizon set by the Union. For this reason, it's very important to be up to date on legislative matters, and to have access to reliable database that provide us with news and give us the consolidated regulation just in time. Finally, we are going to talk about the future prospects, which at least in the European Union are expected to be launched in a short space of time. Clean label is synonymous with the clear, clean, and unstable declaration of food. It ensures that the ingredient list of food products is free from incomprehensible terms as well as artificial ingredients. There is no specific regulation on clean labeling, and there is a great challenge for companies. The consumers distrust those ingredients or things they don't know, according to the studies by leading companies in the food industry. And 69% of consumers attach great importance to the labeling of food products. And two out of three consumers, more or less, are willing to pay more for foods whose ingredients they can recognize. Finally, the Green Deal is a plan that includes 50 concrete actions to combat climate change, which aims to make Europe the first climate neutral continent by 2050. The objective is for Europe to have a clean economy with zero emission, and to protect our natural habitat, to improve the well-being of people and companies, and to take the lead in climate action around the planet. Unlogical, some of these actions are destined to promote ecological agriculture, since, among other actions, reduction of pesticides, for example. So, this has been all. I hope I have been able to explain that different concept and the current regulatory framework in terms of organic production. I greatly appreciate your attention, and here I leave leave you my contact information in case you need more information on this matter or another matter related to food legislation.
Okay, thank you very much, Ivan, for your keen presentation. I remember to everybody that if I have any kind of question, you can send using the chat system. And now is going to make the presentation, Emanuele. Emanuele is going to talk about the caramel color, organic caramel color. Emanuele, I give the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Pepe, and good morning and welcome to this webinar from me too. In this section, we will see very shortly which are the most popular and consumed organic food categories and how brown sugar and aromatic caramel make work in many of them. Then, we will speak about the definition, the main characteristics of organic brown sugar and aromatic caramel, to end up with a brief overview of their main application in the food industry. According to the most recent surveys, the most popular and consumed organic products are fruits, vegetable, and dairy products, while, on the other hand, fresh and frozen meat represent one of the fast and growing area in the organic market. As for packaged and prepared food, although they are not at the same level as the previous one, their demand is also increasing in the organic world market. The same is happening for beverages, baked goods, snack foods, and condiments. Finally, a particular mention for pet food. In fact, in this case, the increased focus on key health and overall humanization of pets has led to an increase in the organic market that, according to the most recent forecast, will see a 9% annual growth by 2023. In many other food categories mentioned above, it is often necessary to use some dyes to achieve the desired color in the final product. Among different colors, caramel is one of the most widely used. However, the organic version of caramel color is not available because the production process includes the use of catalysts to promote the caramelization. In this case, the alternative is represented by brown sugar, which are free from chemicals and capable of conferring both brown color and taste to the final product. Moreover, other food categories often require toppings or fillings in their recipe. Aromatic caramels perfectly fit with this purpose. Therefore, and given that they usually represent more than 5% of the total ingredients of the food, the use of its organic version is mandatory to maintain the organic status of the food in the final product. In that regard, Secna Group is able to offer the organic version of both brown sugar and aromatic caramel. Secna Group organic brown sugar and aromatic caramel can be used in multi-ingredients food without affecting the possibility to label them as organic. Moreover, they are both suitable for vegetarians and vegans and are halal and kosher certified. Furthermore, different studies demonstrate that part of the compounds formed during their production process are associated with nutritional benefits, like, for instance, fructose dianhydrides with their prebiotic effects and melanidins, the molecules responsible for the color of caramel, that act as antioxidant and anti-hypertensive. Let's see now a little bit more in detail what those products are, starting from aromatic caramel. They are obtained by the controlled heat treatment of sugars, typically characterized by a low color intensity. They are mainly used to contribute to the taste of the product to which they are added. Since flavor is the most important characteristic of aromatic caramels, the product derived from the caramelization process can be used as is and as an ingredient, providing an intense aroma and flavor to the food. But it can also be mixed with other ingredients such as glucose syrup, glucose fructose syrup, and brown sugars to obtain products with specific organoleptic profiles and chemical physical attributes. They are to be considered as aromatic foodstuff, so no E number is required on the label of the final product. Specifically, organic aromatic caramel SGB is produced by heating under controlled temperature organic sugar cane and glucose syrup from organic wheat. The resulting product is characterized by a distinctive intense bittersweet taste and the typical yellowish red-brown tone. Let's see now which are its main and typical applications in the food industry. The organoleptic and visual features mentioned before make SGB a perfect topping or filling for many different food applications, like dairy products, ice creams, pastries, and popcorn, where it gives a double contribution. First, it enhances the visual appeal of the foodstuff, and above all, it confers taste, thus making the product more appetizing. But that's not all. In fact, thanks to its high alcohol solubility, aromatic caramel SGB can also be blended with aperitifs and liqueurs, improving their taste and golden hue. Finally, another important characteristic of this aromatic caramel is its good stability in the presence of salt. This allows to make it a taste enhancer for different sauces and seasonings. Turning to brown sugar, we can define them as dark brown liquids or solids obtained by the controlled heat treatment of food sugars. No chemicals are allowed to promote caramelization or to adjust the final pH of the product. They can have a double function in the final product, and accordingly, they may correspond to the definition of both food ingredient and food color, depending on the primary scope of its usage. When its use is mainly intended to confer taste and aroma to the final product, then it can be labeled as an ingredient, thus avoiding the E number on the label. On the other side, when its primary function is to give color to the foodstuff, it has to be considered as a food colorant and declared as E150A, or alternatively, plain caramel. Often, it is not so easy for the manufacturers of the final product to clearly discern among the two functions. In those cases, it is useful to refer to the decision tree created by the European Technical Caramel Association, of which Secna Group is an active member, whose objective is to help to distinguish among the color E150A and the aromatic foodstuff by a simple yes-no decision cascade. You can find it in the UTICA website. By going into the details of the characteristics of the organic brown sugar BSB, we can say that it is in liquid form, produced using organic cane sugar as raw material. Organoleptically characterized by an intense bitter brown taste, it has yellow-red brown tone and a slight negative ionic charge. Brown sugar BSB may find application as a taste and color enhancer in many different food and drinks categories. Let's see more in detail the different applications. Let's start speaking about soft drinks. In this case, BSB can be used in soft brown drinks like cola as a substitute for caramel color E150D. In this case, the lower color intensity of brown sugar and its peculiar shade confer to the beverage a distinctive aspect, commonly perceived as more natural. Moreover, it also contributes to the taste of the beverage, and not least, differently from caramel color E150D, it does not contain the byproduct for methylimidazole. BSB can also be added to tea drinks where it perfectly fits thanks to its yellowish tone, enhancing the color of the final beverage and homogenizing it among different production batches. BSB finds also application in many alcoholic beverages containing up to 40% alcohol like whiskey, brandy, vermouth, and other wine-based drinks. Here, BSB is very useful to increase the color of the final product and additionally to confer its characteristic taste. Concerning bakery and baked goods, the manufacturers of those products often use brown sugar in their recipe with the aim of improving the taste and the brown color. Bar, breads, cookies, desserts, muffins, pizzas, and different sweet goods are just some examples of the products belonging to this category where BSB can be used. Moreover, organic brown sugar BSB also finds application in ice creams where brown color is desired. Chocolate, coffee, toffee, chestnut, hazelnut, and vanilla ice creams are just some of the tastes where BSB can be added to enhance the brown color and contribute with its peculiar taste. Additionally, it can be also used in ice cream cones production to improve their taste and their typical color thanks to its yellow light brown shade. Finally, just a brief note to say that BSB is also suitable in different dairy desserts to give taste and improve the aspect of the product. Regarding meat products, as we saw before, organic meat is one of the fastest growing area in the organic market, and consequently, the use of organic brown sugar in this application is growing as well. Brown sugar, in fact, is used with the purpose of enhancing color and appeal of different kinds of meat and sausages, and when necessary, of increasing the smoked or grill effect to meat. Brown sugar BSP is suitable both to color the exterior surface of meat or the casing of sausages, and to penetrate into the interior of the product. I'm going to conclude this overview on food applications speaking about pet food that we previously mentioned as a very interesting and growing organic market. Brown sugar BSB can be added in different kinds of pet food, like for instance wet and pet treats, to improve color intensity and tones, but also odor and taste, thus contributing to make the final product more attractive and, above all, appetizing. Moreover, it results perfectly stable in heat processing conditions necessary to produce pet food. Let me end by thanking you all for your kind attention, and now I give the floor to Erika for our presentation. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Emanuele. Thank you for your very interesting presentation. As you said, now it's time for the presentation of Erika. Erika is going to talk about certification of the dyeing color, the dyeing from the vegetal products. Erika, please.
Thank you, Jose. Good morning to everybody. With my speech, I will try to transmit my experience in organic products manufacturing segment. Before starting in the matter, I am going to detail the index of the points I am going to comment. Initially, I am going to make a brief introduction about the importance of transmitting confidence and quality assurance in the manufacture of organic products. Later, in point 2, I will talk about one of our standard production processes and our controls throughout the entire production chain. Point 3 collects the information related to the controls and demands of the auditors, and I will show you examples of organic product certificates. And finally, in point 4, I include a summary of the range of organic products that we produce at Segna Group. As indicated above, the manufacture of organic products is based on compliance with the requirements of the legislation mentioned by my colleague Ivan. The best way to convey confidence in the manufacture of organic products is to be certified. The organic certification guarantees that the products have been produced following the organic farming standards, and they have been controlled throughout their production, preparation, packaging, and marketing process. With the certification and labeling, we give to the consumer the guarantee that the product is organic. Next, I'm going to share a standard process that reflects the stages along with some key points to produce quality organic products. The first step is to work with approved and certified suppliers in the manufacture of organic products. To do this, we annually monitor suppliers in order to have all the certifications enforced together with the product analysis. On the other hand, from the field, they should ensure good agricultural practices. An exhaustive control of traceability allows us to have control of all the stages of the process and the guarantee that from the moment the raw material enters in our facilities until our finished product is shipped, the product maintains all its properties and its compliance with the organic product requirements. In the attached flow chart, you can see all the stages starting with our fields. For us, it is essential to guarantee the quality of our organic products from the first moment. After receiving them at our facilities, we carry out a pre-wash and product selection stage. Later, there is a phase of grading and pressing the product, in which we obtain the juice. After a filtration phase, the product may or may not be concentrated. In any case, to maintain the organoleptic characteristics, we store the product in refrigeration until we have an order. At this time, we perform a blending, if applicable, to adjust the product to the customer specification, and after a final filtration, the product is pasteurized and packaged. Depending on customer demand, we can carry out aseptic or not aseptic packaging. It is relevant to indicate that we are certifying DFSI standards. For us, food safety is a priority, so our quality and food safety system is based on the 8A CCP principles establishing the Codex Alimentarius with the purpose of providing safe and suitable food for consumption, ensuring traceability in all stages. For us, our controls are the guarantee of a quality product, so below I am going to comment the controls carried out at SEGNA. In relation to raw materials, we place a special emphasis on pesticides analysis, so that before purchasing the product, we request an analysis of a pre-sample. After having the results and seeing its compliance, the official order is made, and once it is received, an internal verification analysis is carried out. After confirmation of the satisfactory results, the product is registered in the computer system. Likewise, another analysis is carried out at an accredited external laboratory. At SEGNA, we have the necessary equipment and qualified personnel to perform pesticides analysis in accordance with the legislation mentioned above. We have certified standards of more than 300 compounds, and we also carry out an annual interlaboratory exercises to guarantee the sturdiness and confidence of our results. To guarantee legal compliance in relation to this matter, we have subcontracted a legal advisory service that includes access to a legal platform, legal consulting vouchers, and quarterly technical reports. The objective of the intercomparison program we carry out is to guarantee the technical competence of our laboratory for the measure of pesticide residues. The organizing laboratory belongs to Tech School, which has an experience of more than 18 years in this type of exercises in which up to 43 countries participate. The organizer guarantees the perfect homogenization of the sample and its results. For this, they send 10 random samples of all those prepared to be analyzed by his collaborator in laboratory, which is accredited by ISO 17025 standard. For the analysis and quantification of pesticides, we use liquid and gas chromatography coupled to a triple-quadruple mass spectrometry. We also perform heavy metal analysis using optical emission spectrometry. In the picture, you can see the equipment we have at SEGNA. Now, I am going to talk about production planning. Good manufacturing practices are essential to guarantee traceability. Before receiving an organic product, it's necessary a coordination between departments to have the necessary facilities to cover the entire volume of organic product, to identify all facilities on site, to inform the production team of the production planning of organic products, to plan the cleaning of the entire process circuit from the initial raw material deposit to the packaging line, and have all the information in computer support to demonstrate transparency in production process. Regarding to the cleaning process, the cleaning and disinfection process is a priority. Before processing an organic product, all the equipment and facilities used in its production are cleaned and disinfected to avoid cross-contamination between non-organic products and organic products. In addition, before starting to be used, our laboratory technicians verify the effectiveness of the sanitization. This allows us to guarantee the absence of cross-contamination. For this, we use bioluminescence to measure ATP, which is a quick indicator of level of cleanliness in food production. The audits consist of verifying the following: the traceability of organic product certificates throughout the entire production chain, pesticides analysis result reports, the traceability of the production process, review of all inputs and outputs of organic product, cleaning processes and their verification, the mass balance of the product, a visit of the production area to see product storage on site, and in addition to the audits themselves, before each activity related to organic product, we notify the auditor so that whenever he comes to review our control system. As examples of our certificates, I include one from our plant in Turkey, ERCON, and another from our plant in Spain, SEGNA. ERCON has a certification scope for different countries, as you can see. and SECNA has European Union scope and equivalence with the regulation of other countries. This is the range of colors we can offer. We could indicate that we have 4 categories of organic products: grape juice or mass concentrate, black carrot juice, red beet juice, and other juices from apples, pomegranate, strawberry, etc. As an annex, I have added some tables by type of organic product, which, although I'm not going to explain in detail, I include them so you have more information about our organic products. In them, I indicate the name of the product, the country of origin, a brief description of the product, and its application. You can see the products coming from red and white grape, rectified grape must, and black carrot, NFC products, red beet, and other products such as cherry juice or apple juice. And with this slide, I end my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Erika. Next, we have 10 minutes to answer the questions that you have sent us until now. We remind, if you have more questions, you can continue sending them using the chat. Unfortunately, we have no more time. It means that we are trying to give the answer to as more as we can. Anyway, due to the time constriction, it's not possible to answer your questions. We will send the response by email in the next few days. Well, the first question is, I think, is addressed to Ivan Ludeña. Well, I'm going to read it. The attendee say, thank you very much, Ivan, for your interesting presentation. From what I understand, there are many different levels and certifiers: local, global, private, governments, etc. Which are the most important and how are they coordinated?
Okay, it's a good question. Yes, there are a lot of certificates and a lot of bodies of certificates, but the most important I have to say is that, for example, in the European Union, all of them, they have to comply with the European regulation. In USA, all of them have to comply with the USDA regulation, and there is the same in other countries. So you can certificate with one on another body of certificate, global, local, or national, but they have to comply with the regulation of the country that produced the product and the country that they want to export this product.
Okay, thank you for your keen answer. Well, the second question is for Emanuele. I have to produce the organic version of my product in which I currently use caramel color. May I expect to obtain the same result by substituting the caramel with the same quantity of the organic burnt sugar?
Well, in this case, it depends on the type of caramel you are currently using, but the answer is probably no. In fact, all classes of caramel colors, E150A, B, and above all C and D, usually have an higher color intensity compared with brown sugar BSB. And this is because caramel are produced with the aid of catalysts which promote caramelization and consequently the color intensity too. So to have the same color in the final product, we will have to add an higher quantity of brown sugar BSB. You can calculate this amount by comparing the color intensity of the two products. I mean BS and caramel you are using. Moreover, you also have to take into account that different classes of caramels have slight different shades. For instance, caramel 150D have typical dark brown tones, while brown sugar are characterized by yellowish red hues. So this will slightly affect also the tone in the final product. And finally, you also have to consider if the brown sugar is suitable in this kind of product. So you can refer to my previous presentation and the application in which brown sugar can be used.
Okay, Emanuele, thank you for your answer. Well, we have received a lot of questions. Well, the third question is addressed to Erika. How many visits or audits can you have from the auditor in every year?
Normally, there are usually at least 2 visits per year, but we have had 3 visits from the auditor. And on occasions, the auditor asks us for evidence of organic product activity by email.
Okay, they are sending more questions. Well, the other question is, in this case, is for Emanuele Pedrazzini. If I use burnt sugar to confer color to my product, but it also gives taste, can I avoid declaring it as a food color? I'm not sure if I explained it well. Do you understand, Emanuele?
Yes, I think so. I think to have understood the question. Well, this is a borderline condition, but that honestly happens very often. I have to say that technically, if the main purpose of the use of brown sugar in the final product is to confer color, it should be declared as a food color. But on the other side, if indeed brown sugar confers a discernible taste to the final product, you can also consider this as the primary scope of its usage. It's something like it seems like a trick, but it's up to the manufacturer of the foodstuff to decide this. In this case, so I think you can consider brown sugar as an ingredient and declare it on the label accordingly.
Okay, the next one is, in this case again for Erika, I think is the best is, what surfaces is the ATP test performed? And something, in addition to ATP, is there any more control of the level of hygiene of the surface and equipment? Two questions, is what surfaces is the ATP, and other controls of hygiene of the surface and equipment?
Okay, we use this quick method to verify the correct cleaning and disinfection of equipment and facilities in the washing water of closed circuits and other surfaces, such as tank covers, hoses, or pipes. But in addition, we combine ATP measurement with the use of contact slides for work surfaces and equipment and for workers' hands and clothing.
Okay, we have some additional questions. This is for Ivan. What is the current situation regarding the ban on the use of the pesticides in Europe, and what is expected to happen in the immediate future?
Okay, I think that the immediate the actual situation is that it will be changed very often with the pesticides. But I think that according the Green Deal, the pesticides it will be reduced a lot in the future.
Well, perhaps one or two more, because there are no more time. Another question in this case is for Emanuele Pedrazzini, concerning the use of aromatic caramel, SGB, to improve tests in alcoholic beverage. At what alcohol percentage is result stable? Is there any other limitation of its use in this application?
Well, okay. Usually aromatic caramels have a very high alcohol stability. We usually suggest to use them in alcoholic beverages up to 55-60% alcohol. However, it is important to consider that depending on the recipe of the beverage, of the drink, some ingredients present in the final product, like for example herbal extracts or some flavor, may slightly interact with the aromatic caramel, modifying its stability. So we usually suggest to test the aromatic caramel in the final product in small scale in order to verify its suitability.
Okay, thank you, Emanuele, again. Well, I'm very sorry, but unfortunately, there is no time for more questions, for additional questions. But anyway, if you have any question, you can send them to us by email, and we answer them in the next few days. I remind all of you that you will receive the webinar documentation by email within 10 days. And please check your spam folder if not. I hope you like the presentations, and see you again in the future webinars. That's all for today. Thank you very much for your time, and goodbye.